I actually think that most of the problems that tuko nazo, they can actually not be solved politically. They cannot. Most of these problems that we actually have, they run deep. But I guess politics is the easy answer. Let's say, for instance, I'm here, I'm starving, I don't have a job. It's much easier to just say, well, the government that I voted in should do one and two and three things. And fair enough, by the way. I'm not trying to say that is not a legit way to think about it, but it's, I guess, the easy way out. Someone else's problems. I, and I would be reluctant to actually make the case that that is all there is, especially when like remove the personal agency. To what extent am I aiding in elevating the problem? You know, I guess that is a harder problem, going in that direction of thinking, well, what is my personal agency? I'll be honest with you, I actually think, to a large extent, most of the problems that zenye tuko nazo, they tend to be psychological and ethical. You will never understand how other people are wired, in their head. You think about we all different. Who knows who we are? I mean, who knows? I mean, you think you know your partner, but do you? I don't know. I don't know. Could be you married, have a married quit and you just don't know. Anyway, the point is not even about marriage here. The point is psychological. What is happening in between your ears and how you're making sense of the world, could be very flawed. You could be operating with nonsense in your head. I have, I still do. I still don't know who placed that nonsense in my head. It's like a malware. It's like a malfunctioning of the brain of like a car. The engine that I'm actually using to like drive down the road. It could have like malfunctioned or stuff. Another thing is like ethical. There are people who just like they are straight up like psychos. They would like do some shitty things and they wouldn't like move an inch. After they've done it. But we hardly talk about these things like in like the political like arena. Like just how bad, who knows how many cycles out there. Do you know? Like it's good to assume there could be some part people out there who are a bit off, or who knows what has happened. Do you think about a case such as suicide? Suicide is like a perfect example of the terrible places that a mind can visit. You can just go off and never to and if you don't like have professional help, you get to the point where you have like self-harm when you're unajiumiza. And it's very important like to mention that case because it's good to show you that the terrible places that the mind can visit to the extent that you'd actually self-harm yourself. You know. But still politics is the easy way out. It's someone else's problem. Or well, you remove yourself from the equation and just say it's someone else who should be handling this problem. Because well, they have a privileged position and it's a position of influence and power and whatnot. And fair enough, by the way. Fair enough. But it's kind of crazy to actually think that just one person is kind of going to feed all these people. You know, I mean, they are going to do it, but it takes everybody getting involved in the whole thing. Farmers themselves, we hardly think about even like farming. I personally, like right now, it's not like I'm farming, but I guess the struggle I've taken is to say I'll look for money. Na wewe ukishamaliza by the way kulima, I'll pay you for your effort. And I've never actually thought, by the way, what if watu wanalima wakikataa by the way kulima? I don't know. Who knows? You know. But I just go show you that there's so many things that actually goes, behind the scene before you actually like enjoy a nice plate of food. Bless, free markets. Jesus, capitalism. You know? Like imagine, who knows, before you get like your fish. All those people who like, I don't know, perhaps were fishing overnight. Someone transported the fish, and then it got here, someone reserved it, someone refrigerated it, someone checked if they were like okay before like it's served, It's a lot of things that happen before I enjoy my meal. We have to talk about or personally I never think about those things, yeah. Anyway, my point is this is that I actually don't think most of the problems that you have can be solved politically. There are some, But I guess for the most part, the tiny few or the select few that you can actually solve with politics need it evolves like public goods, things that we all share communally. I think politics can really do something there. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like most of the problems that JJ have are very psychological and very ethical. Who knows what is happening in between people's ears? I don't know. I personally, even I'm quite reluctant sometimes to pay attention to what is happening in between my ears. I don't know what my next door neighbor is actually thinking, yeah, or how they are reasoning about how things should be like. But I think Victor Franco was right. You actually give people cakes, but all they'll actually do is busy themselves with the continuation of the species, they will still do your nasty trick. People like getting entertained. They want a man in the arena. You think about those Hunger Games, not Hunger Games. Even if it was a romance. The once gladiator thing, yeah? People at a point in time used to enjoy watching people kill each other. It was kind of fun. Take the ethics out of it. Like maybe you have bought some slaves, you let them fight to death. And you just there cheering, Whoever is like slashed, the more bloody it is, the more exciting it is. Those are the people we have come from, like barbarians, people who are doing all these sort of things. And here we are, and we are enjoying our air conditioning, and we are living in a pretty peaceful time, but it has not always been the case. And where we have come from, those were ancestors, those are our people. We still carry those genes, that is still our biology. And we are still kind of wired, It only takes, situation or just one thing going off, and you just don't know your neighbor anymore. Kind of still feels like we're still in the jungle in a sense, yeah? But, at least we are a bit more civilized here. We are enjoying our avocados, baked sandwiches, but you hardly ever think about it. There are people you'll never understand how they are wired, you know, but you're standing next to them trying to call for a revolution. Who knows to what end or what is the goal that they have in mind? The Joker said, not the Joker, no, the guy who takes care of Batman, the old guy, gray hair guy. Because I'm about the Joker, is a guy, or there are certain people in this world that cannot be bought with money. Money is not what incentivizes them. The people who are just the wiring has gone off, that they will not mind watching the world burn. Those are still our people, but we hardly talk about those things. Like how many cycles are actually out there? It's a very terrible case to make. You would think that all the cycles are kind of somewhere in a mental institution. There's also some people who have just gone off, and who knows what happens in such a case and how you should kind of help. But politics, I guess, is the easy answer. We all say you remove yourself from the equation and say someone else should be handling this for my case since I helped them get there in the position of privilege and power. And fair enough. I don't know. I don't know if really all this problem can be solved in that way. Perhaps some, those that involve public goods. Others, sijui by the way, zingine, you will have to really bring in the new conversation of personal agency. To what extent are you also helping in elevating this problem as a person, as an individual? But that is a harder conversation to have, is it? I know it is for me. I don't know for you how it is like.